Happy Monday. I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Pete Davidson is back on Instagram. I know you've been waiting for it, but this time he's sharing his account with former New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning. Why? Who knows? Let's read the article. Pete and Eli have posted photos of the two hanging out inside Pete Davidson's apartment, which has been decked out in Giants swag. In a video, Pete says, "Hello, Instagram. I have decided to come back, but only with the GOAT. Timeout. Eli Manning is nice and all. He's not even the GOAT in the Manning family, Pete. Come on." Page 6 writes, revealing a relaxed and reclining Eli Manning on camera. We hear Eli say, "What's up? Your bed is so comfortable." To which Pete Davidson replies, "Oh, thanks, man. We've been having a good time on my bed." Stay tuned for more photos on the gram. The account quickly gained 10,000 followers, probably has more by the time you're hearing this. And as I'm recording this, they had only posted 3 times. The account's bio reads, "We both don't have Instagram, so we made one together." The New York Football Giants posted a 13-minute video of The Eli Manning Show, featuring the two hanging out at Pete's New York City apartment. Pete's bedroom is filled to the brim with Manning memorabilia, including a photo of Eli with his children. Eli jokes, "I'm leaving. I'm freaked out a little bit. Good meeting you, Pete, but yeah, see you later." We'll see what this is all about, I'm sure. Nikki Glaser didn't get Taylor Swift tickets. I did, haha. Jealous? Yeah, I sat on Ticketmaster for 4 hours to hook up my kid, and I waited so long, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go too. So I have Taylor Swift tickets. Nikki Glaser did not. She thought an agent could hook her up, but no one came through, so she went on social media. Nikki Glaser told E! I put up a sad Instagram post being like, I didn't get tickets. Then my fans started DMing me saying like, hey, I got tickets. Do you want these $5,000 floor seats? And I said, sure. But do I go alone? Glaser's fans were like, no, you don't go alone. You go with us. So she says, so now I'm imploring my fans, if you need someone to go with you to a Taylor Swift show, I will fly that city. I will pay for a ticket. I will go with strangers because as a Swiftie, I feel like I have more in common with a random Swiftie I've never met than I do with some of my best friends. So anyone out there who needs a person to go with them to a Taylor Swift concert, I'm your girl. I have 4. Should I invite her and while I'm there, bring out the portable mic and start interviewing her about comedy? Maybe. Neil Brennan has a new podcast. I have downloaded it. I have not yet listened to it because I just found out about it as I was writing today's podcast. His first guest, David Letterman. So I'm totally in. Neil posted a Q&A on his Twitter account. Question, Neil, when are you going to do a podcast? Answer, today. Question, what's it about? Answer, I have guests on and talk about their blocks like my Netflix special. Question, anybody good? Answer, yeah, David Letterman. Go like and subscribe. It's a big day in the Letterman verse. Today on Netflix, a special episode of My Next Guest with David Letterman, and his next guest is Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Not sure that'll be a particularly funny episode, but good to see Dave out and about. Gerard Carmichael has signed on to host the 80th Golden Globes. You may recall the Golden Globes were controversial and I think didn't even air last year. Well, they're back, baby, and Gerard Carmichael's like, sure, a gig's a gig, I'll do it. I might be putting words in his mouth there. I don't know how he actually feels about it. But some people are like, you're hosting that? Yeah? January 10th. So give me something to talk about in early January. Thank you, Gerard Carmichael. Mo Amer spoke to Variety. The question, is your show coming back? His answer, ask Netflix. We won awards. We're one of Variety's top shows. But as for season 2, ask Netflix. Mo said, nothing happened overnight. It took a lot of patience and time to be myself on American television. They put a lot in front of you for you to do things I'm not okay with. It took over 20 years of patience in figuring out what the business is and what story I want to tell to make Mo happen. He spoke at length about how he recut one of the episodes of Mo, which takes place at a gentleman's club. Mo said, I'll tell you, what the director filmed didn't make the cut. There were a lot of Arabs that did take jobs there or have worked there, so we're definitely not going to have booties or boobies popping out. I cut all that stuff out myself because it's not necessary to the story. It's hypersexuality for the sake of just showing it. On the editing, I was like, take that out. Mo said all this at a live event. The audience shouted back, good job. Mo said, you have to be balanced. I was born in Kuwait. I'm not somebody who just got there and doesn't understand it. I'm fluent in Arabic. I hang out with my family and I want to show my face. I want to see my uncle, so I'm thinking about that too. How can I have this level of success while getting the young and the old and everybody in between? That's the main focus. It's not about how cool I am or how sexualized my show is. It's about the damn story, man. That's all I care about. Chris Redd spoke to WBEZ, the topic when Chris was assaulted outside the Comedy Cellar. Was that September? Chris said, I had 100 jokes lined up the day after the incident. Hell, I was making jokes while bleeding. But there's this other side of it where I know I need to take time to really process my trauma before making a joke out of it. It's one thing for me to be on stage cracking jokes about myself, but I know if I were to get on stage right now and make a joke about being punched and an audience member made a comment, I'd be emotional and defensive about it. I know I'm healed and ready to make a real joke of it when I could just have a witty response and not an emotionally charged one. He also spoke about leaving SNL and having an HBO special, and real life gets in the way. Chris Red said, I was broke until I was 30. I can relate more to struggling than I can to being good with fame and money. The struggle came with a bit of imposter syndrome, too. I was always very guarded. If this attack had happened a year or two ago, I wouldn't have seen it coming because I was so on guard. This actually brought me back down to earth a little bit. Have you joined the $2 club yet? Shannon did. Thank you, Shannon. So what's the $2 club? It's just an easy way to support the show. You go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews and you join the $2 club, and it'll connect your credit card to, I guess, me in the end. And then once a month, you send $2 to the show. Nice, easy way to support the show. Shannon, thank you. I appreciate you. Now there's Mike. He went for the standard membership and he did the whole year. That's $50. Thank you, Mike. Much appreciated. And I'll tell you that $50 is going to come in handy on Wednesday for Trivia Night. So last week on Trivia Night, Glenn didn't come and one of my other teammates didn't come, but Mrs. Glenn came along with Mrs. Teammate. So it's not like anything weird was going on. Relax, guys. You think I'm going to do that to Glenn? What the hell? Let's fight. Anyway, Mrs. Glenn paid for all the food without us noticing. So I said to other teammate, I'm like, all right, we got to make this good next week when Glenn's back. But it's other teammate's birthday, so I can't have him pay. Glenn can't pay. The guy that wasn't there wasn't going to pay. So looks like I'm going to pay for everything this Wednesday. Whew. So Mike, that $50 is going to come in handy. Buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. By the way, the trivia guys were mad at me. One of the trivia questions was, who is the captain on Star Trek Discovery? And I knew they were going for Michael Burnham, but I walked up to them and I was like, hey, trivia guys, that's a problematic question. There's at least 4 answers to that question. And they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah. Do you watch the show? Yes, we're big Trekkies. I'm like, well, there's been 4 different captains. I think they were mad that I poked at their trivia. Anyway, trivia night. Whew, we finished 18th out of 23rd. We suck. But I got the Star Trek question right. Skankfest is coming back. You'll have to wait till September 29th. Announced this early enough? This from the laugh button. Skankfest Vegas. Pre-sale tickets are available today at 1 p.m. Eastern. Who's on the lineup? They didn't say yet. Now, to be fair, this thing has a good track record. I'll read you the 2022 lineup, which is not what you would be buying tickets for unless you have a time machine, which would be impressive, and a waste of your time machine. Really? You're going to use that and go to Skankfest? Come on. Way back in the distant past of 2022, that Skankfest included Dave Attell, right there. It's great, right? Burt Kreischer, Robert Kelly, Shane Gillis, Jim Norton, Tim Dillon, Ari Shaffir, Eddie Pepitone, Bonnie McFarlane, TJ Miller, Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe List, Jessica Curson, Mark Norman, and more. So that was 2022. Let's assume that they book similar guests, if not those exact people, for 2023. Anyway, Skankfest Vegas, it's not until September, but tickets on sale today. And did you ever start to segue into a new story and then realize, oh, that was the end of the script and the podcast just abruptly ended? Sometimes that happens to people. It has just happened to me. I guess that's it. That's your comedy news for today. Who knew? Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I really just scrolled down. I was like, oh, wait, I thought there was one more story. There's not. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube's the other one, and wherever you get your shows. Join the $2 club, huh? See ya.